Springs. And so a brief introduction about Crystal Springs is that they do have a lot of study abroad opportunities, which we'll talk about in the characteristics slide. And then there is 2 campuses, one for Belmont, California for the middle school, and then Hillsborough for high school. They are similar to Menlo, where they do have a grade 6 through 12 system. They don't have elementary school. Their teacher to student ratio is 1:9, and 76% of teachers hold advanced degrees. Their main grade entrance is 6 and 9, and their average GPA is 3.87 unweighted. And then lastly, their tuition is the same for all grades, 6 through 12. It is $54,445. Yes, 54. And then for their UC admission rates for 2019 and 2020, for UC Berkeley, there was a decrease. It went from 32.26% down to 18.75. And then the UC admission database did not have information for 2020 UCLA, but in 2019, it was 21.21%. Next, for their key characteristics, they do have a detailed social emotional learning program, and the focus of that social emotional learning program is on conflict management, resolution, and empathy. And then one other thing that they stress on is making sure that students are living a balanced life, making sure that they are not only working hard, studying their academics, but also pursuing other hobbies outside of school as well. They focus on mindfulness education and helping students become aware of their mental health or stress levels, which kind of connects to the balanced life, because if students are living a balanced life, their mental health will be good, while their stress levels will be low. And then another one is that the school no longer offers AP courses. Instead, they're replaced with what they're called design honors or H classes. Around 16 to 17 of their AP courses were converted to this system a couple years ago. And this is to make sure that the teachers at the school have the ability to change the curriculum slightly to focus more on group work and project-based learning, because they believe that that will help students get more out of those classes. And just because they don't offer AP courses doesn't mean they can still take AP classes, or take AP tests. A lot of students can still take AP tests at Crystal Springs and do well. Next, Crystal Springs, one key characteristic that we talked about in the initial slide is their study abroad program, which is called Global Initiatives Program. For this one, students are able to study abroad and gain real world experiences. It provides them with either short-term study trips or even international internships. Some of the countries that they've gone to over the last couple of years include China, Peru, France, Costa Rica, Canada, India, Spain, Morocco, Germany, Zambia, and Botswana. And one example of their global initiatives program is that all 8th graders have the ability to travel to a specific country that is based on the language that they're currently studying in school. So for Spanish, they go to Costa Rica. For French, they go to Quebec. And then for Mandarin, they go to Shanghai. One note is they did go to Iceland last year. The Mandarin students did, because of the COVID protocol. But as you can see here, one of the main kind of focuses for Crystal Springs is they do emphasize the importance of learning through different cultures, through different experiences, and making sure to give students the opportunity to study abroad, because it is hard to plan and find the resources to make these trips possible. So Crystal Springs does their best to provide that for the students, because they believe that broadening the scope of learning culturally will definitely help them out in the future. And it's obviously a very fun program. But now we'll get into some feedback from Crystal Springs parents regarding Crystal Springs. And so the first quote here says that the junior level schools have more young teachers and new administrators, as well as more classes and a wider range of academic fields. However, the high school teachers are also great. So this parent was definitely more satisfied with the middle school program, but also that the high school program was good too. The second quote says, my son has just entered grade 6 and he is very happy at school every day. The teachers are very enthusiastic and professional. In addition, the students are friendly and love learning, but they do think that the sports curriculum and food need to be strengthened. So this parent definitely says that the sports program is not as strong in comparison to other schools like a Menlo, but their student who is in grade 6 is very happy at it. So those are just two kind of things to keep in mind. And then this last one says that Crystal Springs prepares your child really well for college. The one challenge that there isn't as much flexibility early in high school, since everyone takes mostly the same thing. You can choose your language and your art, but that's about it. So this parent thought that around the freshman and sophomore school range, there wasn't as many options, not as much personalized education as in comparison to a Nueva or a Menlo in some instances, but it did help them prepare the student very well for college. So hopefully this feedback is a little bit helpful on Crystal Springs, but we're going to get into our final school now.